Welcome everyone to the Don Vic Show. I'm your host Don Vic.
Your co-host IG.
We in the building, baby. You already know what it is and what it could be. Well. Welcome everyone. Welcome on to the show. Today we got special guests coming on the show. Actor, award winner, director, you name it. This guy does it by the name of Walter Hochbrueckner. He'll be coming on the show in a little while. So we're gonna wait for him to log in so we can bring him on the show and talk to him and find out what he got going on.
What's going on, Stacks?
What's up, Stacks in the building? What's going on? What's going on? Big shout out to my RNL team. You already know what it is. So, yesterday we had a great show. Yesterday,
it was a long day, but it was a good day.
It was a good day.
I mean, we were a little tired towards the end of it, but that comes with it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's come with the game. Let's come with the game. Let's come with the game. So, I just want to shout out all the guests that was on yesterday. My brother, Brent Gaskin, John Morris, and my sister, Brandy Martin, all the way from Chicago. Big shout out to Chicago, North Carolina, and Scotland, and Australia as well.
And Mr. Damien King from Australia. Yes, sir.
Yes, was in the building yesterday. Big shout out to everyone. And, they're here today. We're here. We're going to have two amazing guests coming on the show. One is going to be virtual, and the other one's going to be here live in the studio with Mr. Melodic and Lazy Eyes. We'll be here in the building associated with Bone Thugs and Harmony. These dudes are fire. They'll be in the building today, so make sure you don't miss it. 5 o'clock p.m. They'll be in the studio live.
Yes, sir.
You feel me? That's what the whole Big Show is all about. You feel me? So we're going to get it popping. Brandon Creotti, what's up, my man? Brandon,
what's going on, Brandon?
In the building. Fun house, y'all.
I ain't scared of you, Brandon.
I ain't scared of no ghost.
Shit.
I ain't scared of no ghost. Hey,
you see how we saying it all the way down here in Boston, right? Because next thing you know, when you come closer, we come see you. We ain't gonna be this happy, but we're doing it now.
That's right. We enjoying it now while we're here. Before we start, getting into the paranormal stuff. You feel me? Big shout out to my girl JoJo in the building.
In the house.
That's right. The JoJo show.
The JoJo show. You don't know?
That's right. You better ask somebody.
Right. You're going to learn today.
That's right. You're going to learn today. So big shout out to JoJo and the JoJo show. Make sure y'all tune in if you want to be on her show. Reach out to JoJo. Let her know that Don Vic sent you and IG sent you. And she'll do whatever she can to bring you on her show. JoJo Brandon. It's actually a paranormal investigator. He got an amazing team. You guys, would love to have Brandon come on your show as well. Brandon is an amazing guy. He got a lot of things going on. Even though he spent most of his times in the hospital, but other than that, he's great. He should be doing some more investigation in the hospital since you spend more time in the hospital, Brandon, than you do outside.
Him and some stuff in the hospital, you got to investigate.
That's right. You might want to investigate the hospital, brother. Have your team come in there and investigate that hospital because you're there all the time.
Yeah, but I respect it, because being a hospital, like you said, being in a hospital majority of times, but he still managed to be on doing what he's doing no matter what.
Yes. That's called motivation. Motivation and dedication.
That's the key.
That's right. That's the key. So, big shout out to the Funhouse team. You know what I mean? Big shout out to them. Also, big shout out to Minnesota Spirit Paranormals as well, with my brother Marcus, Lisa, Tammy, Mark. They're amazing guys. I'm actually going to be on March 2nd. I'm going to be on Matt's platform on his show. So make sure you guys tune in and watch that show on March 2nd. I'll be on his show. Also, February 2nd, I'll be on Marcus' platform on his show. So, you guys can tune in and see what, we're going to be talking about. I'm actually going to be sitting on the hot seat.
Yeah, you are.
The interviewer is going to get interviewed. So, let's see what happens. And Market is awesome. Also, big shout out to Enlightened Souls Paranormal with my brother Mark Lee.
Mr. Mark Lee,
my sister Barbara from Another Mother, and and I believe Tammy's on there too. Tammy and Alicia. Big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to her husband and all the camera crew on that team. So also big shout out to the paranormal investigators in the UK. Woo! With my sister Candy, her husband. Gee, I forget. There's so many people. With her husband, Nick, and her mom, Miss Colin. Big shout out to the UK. Big shout out to London, Scotland. Everybody. The Nigeria. Big shout out to Africa, Nigeria. Big supporter of the Don Big Show. Big shout out. Shout out to Bella Livy in the building.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? So, just want to shout out everybody that support the show worldwide. Also, big shout out to Jennifer Dawn. Spoke to her last night, an amazing woman. Big shout out to Jennifer. Big shout out to Catherine Coven Al Pacino as well. Shout out to Bill, her husband. Big shout out to my brother Joseph Williams, all the way in California. Also, talk show host Tyrone Tan, all the way from California. Big shout out to him and his crew. So many great people. Shauna Gibson, big shout out to her. She's also a talk show host. Brandy Martin, that was on Queen G Live Experience. Make sure y'all tune in. She just started her show. She's back up, and she's amazing. If you guys want to be on her show as well, reach out to her. Let her know that Don Vic sent you, and she do whatever she can to get you on the show. So many people with so many platforms, out there willing to help people expose their projects, expose their craft, and that's what it's all about. It's about growing. It's about helping one another go to the next level, expand. And for us as entertainers, we need to expand our mind to bigger things, and I've just been blessed to be able to do that, to expand my mind, to look at the bigger picture, because everything is not money. Money's good to have because it's a way of life. You need money to make things happen, but sometimes you got to put the money to the side and see the bigger picture. Because for me,
you're right. It's like, what I'm saying? You want to direct something. Money isn't always going to get you where you want to be at. It gives you more trouble than anything else sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So see, I'm a visionary. I love to see the big picture. And if I want to get the bag, I don't want to get the small bag. I want to get the big bag. And the reason why I want to get the big bag is because I got my team. And if I eat, my team got to eat. I can't feed my team with a small bag. You know what I mean? So I got to look at the bigger picture. I got to create something big enough so that everybody can eat, everybody can put in their work, and and we can spread the love evenly. So, that's how I roll. But great things are coming, great things are happening. We definitely got to put this stuff into effect. So we have Mr. Walter in the building. He just popped up. So we're going to bring Mr. Walter in. We're going to talk to him, find out exactly what he got going on, what he's doing at this present day. And and I can't wait to see what he got going. So people, I want to introduce to you actor, director. This guy does it all. Award winner, Mr. Walton Hochbrueckner. Hey, Mr. Walton, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing okay. We're doing better now that you're on.
Okay. Yeah, same here. Hello, computer,
Yeah. So tell us, how you doing? How's everything going?
Oh, it's going well. Right now I'm editing this movie called The Paradise Motel.
Yes.
It's something I wrote about a year ago, and it was basically a combination of Psycho and Chainsaw Massacre. I was thinking along those lines with a twist. I always like to write everything that has a twisty little ending. So you have something that you don't expect to occur, and it's pretty cool. A shout out to my associate producer, Angel Princess, because she helped me uh, formulate this into from a short film to a feature film.
Right.
So it's really cool. It's going to be coming out on the 19th of February. We're going to premiere it.
19th of February. That's amazing that you say that. I had a guest yesterday on the show. He's also a director and an actor by the name of Damian King. I'm not sure if you heard the name or know the name, but he's from Australia. And it's funny that you said a twist, because he was talking about chopping heads and chopping heads, blowing up stuff, vampires eating stuff. I said, oh God. And you just said what you said. I said, these guys together can come up with some type of,
maybe we should.
Story. Yeah, that's funny that you say that. When you said it, it brought me straight to him, because he was like, he had my mouth open yesterday. I'm like, what? Killing? Vampires, werewolves, everything he talked about was destroying anything in his path.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Mine is less of a horror flick, more of a thriller drama.
Okay.
So it's one of those things you don't know what's going on. You got a battered wife that's running away from her husband, and she's looking for her own paradise now. And she finds the Paradise Motel, which turns out is not much of a paradise. And nothing is as it seems. So it's interesting, a little twist on the usual fare that you would find out there. So it's a slash combination of horror, thriller, drama.
Okay, and so where do you get the ideas from?
Actually, I think it was about maybe 12 years ago. I was working on another project called Love Carries, and I just had this idea. I was watching the Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
TV, and it gave me the idea that, it's always very predictable. It's always ends up the same way. So I wonder what happened if I twisted it up a little bit. And that's how it evolved. I wrote the short story. I put it off in the corner for, a long period of time, and I didn't look at it until about maybe 2 years ago. And then it was only this last year that I decided I was going to bring it to fruition. And it's been an ongoing thing for the last year.
Wow. So does it take that long to create a project?
For writing it, usually it takes me only a few hours if I'm inspired, or a week if I'm not so inspired as I would like to be. Right. And then after I've written it, I go ahead and I register it, with the Writers Guild of America to make sure that the idea doesn't get picked up by somebody and run with, because that has happened on a couple of occasions. So I now know not to forget about doing that. Then I decided to see if I can get the funding, and I was going to go to Indiegogo to get the funding for it, and I realized that it was almost impossible to do it in a reasonable amount of time. And then with COVID-19 hitting, that really screwed everything up for everybody, not just me. So at that point in time, I started to think about self-funding. And so I started putting aside money to do the project. And we were able to pay for it. My wife and I, she is also the executive producer, Vera R. Taylor. We went ahead and we said, let's put the money aside, and we did. And so we went ahead and shot it. And that's what we're getting it down to the final wire now. I just have to do the final edits. I've gone through all the scenes. I just have to tweak the music and the sound a little bit, and it's essentially done.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Is it difficult? Is it difficult to get investors?
Yeah, well, it is. It is. They all want a piece of the action, some form or another, which is okay. That's what you would expect to find. But sometimes, it's more than you can give them, for the amount of money that they're willing to give you. Unless it's some corporate environment or some type, that's going to use it to sponsor something like, if you're branding something like I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to put a couple of items in that would be branded so that people can see, and it's almost like a walking advertisement for it. But I wasn't able to get that going in time for me to get this all wrapped up and done. I might be able to modify this in the future if that indeed happens. If someone wants to brand and we're able to drop it in one way or another, I'd be happy to go along with that. So, and that's a good source of funding if you can accomplish it.
Right.
That's great. So you started acting at a very young age. You was a teenager when you started acting, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So,
yeah.
What made you transition, over and become a director?
Well, it's funny. I was actually just taking acting classes at the time with Kimberly Jensen. Shout out to her. She was an excellent teacher for me, and a good person. Just a really nice person. Very extremely competent teacher. And I started getting into the acting thing after I retired from my computer gaming stint I was doing that for a long time. And I finally got out of the industry and I said, what am I going to do with myself? I said, I enjoyed acting when I did it, back many, many, many years ago. And so I decided to take some classes with her, and I discovered that, I really enjoyed it, and I really want to get back into the acting. And it just so happens that a year later, she had a director's class that she was putting together, and that sounded very intriguing to me. And I thought, okay, I wonder if I can even do anything with that. And so she took me on, trained me, and we had really good sessions. And finally, I just said, okay, fine, I think I'm ready. And that's when I did Love Carries back in 2011.
Right.
And then I did The Sins of the ... in 2015. Right. And then, of course, this movie that I've done now. Those were two shorts. This is a feature film.
Right. What role did you love doing the most? As in being, what type of character did you love doing?
Oh, I like playing the bad guy.
Man. Oh man, I like to play the bad guys. Good bad guys.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
I like to play the father role. The good guy. But see, I don't got the good guy look. So any opportunities I get, they want me to play a bad guy, a mobster, agent. I get those parts.
Excellent. Yeah. Those are so much fun. They really are, because you could just really let loose and be over the top without being over the top. If you know what I mean. You can really temper it and really still get that point across that you're evil, and it's great. It's just really great.
So you love when you do your movies. Do you focus more on the horror part, the drama part, or do you love action?
It's the drama part I really like the most, where the interplay between the characters is very strong that way. In fact, in the Paradise Motel, there's less action in the sense that there are a few murders that occur, but you don't see bloodshed. You don't see the actual penetration of the knives in the people. And I did that intentionally. The idea was to imply it so that people can use their imagination and go, oh, okay. So, yeah, I could have made it bloody, where it would be like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see blood all over the place and all that kind of thing. And I felt at the time that since I'm trying to do a retro kind of movie, back in the 50s, and where there's very little color, it was one of those things that I thought would play better in this environment. But we'll see. We'll see what the audiences think about this.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them. I definitely want to see. I know it's on the platforms too, on demand and on social media. This is going to be playing out, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be getting out to the platforms, and we'll see what happens. I don't know which network I'm going to be putting it on yet, but I'm working on that now. It's in the background.
Like,
I figured first.
All right, I get it.
Yeah. So since you've been doing this, you were of course a teenager. Mm-hmm. Right now, how easy or how hard was it for you to read a script?
Oh, it was fairly easy because of my background from many years ago. I was able to just pick up a script and get into the character pretty quickly. And then I had, like I said, I had a good teacher in Kimberly. She did a wonderful job of honing, what I could understand and perceive quickly. And that's the key for most actors is, how can you absorb the material very fast? How can you create a background for the character so that it plays well? And it plays well with the personality of not only the character, but yourself. Because you always have to incorporate a little bit of yourself in each character, or else the characters become very flat and they become, superficial. And that's what you don't want. You want to be able to draw in the audience so they become part of you in a sense. You want them inside, your head. And it works that way. And I was able to do it relatively easily because of my background from doing acting, as a kid.
Right.
So, yeah, I played the Music Man. I was Harold Hill in the Music Man in high school. So it was one of those things that it taught me quite a bit about what needs to have happened in order for it to be good. And that's the thing I strive to achieve is really good quality product, whether it's my acting or whether it's the directing. And that's why my Love Carries and the Sins of the ... they've won a lot of awards, not only for the script, but for the actual film itself. Won Best Director, Best Film, Best Supporting Actor, Best Song. So, pretty much everything. I've had a shot at it. So it's a matter of really stressing quality and pleasing the audience. That's really what it comes down to.
Awesome. How do you prepare for a film when you're getting ready to go into character? What are some of the things you do to get prepared?
Well, it's really funny. I just settle myself. I just sit down for a second and just clear my mind, and then say, okay, what am I about to do? Okay, and then it's just saying, all right, I'm going to play this character now. I'm going to be this guy Eric, and he's after his wife, and he's mad, and he's not a cool guy. He's not a he was easy guy to live with. He hates everybody, and he thinks he's superior and he's arrogant as all hell. So it's that kind of thing you just think about, and then you go into the character, you start doing the lines, and it just flows, just comes naturally. And I'm lucky that I'm one of these people that I can switch in and out of a character very quickly. Usually, like that. And I had to when I was doing the directing and the acting in this movie, because I would have to switch from one thing to another. I would have to put on my director hat 1 second, and then next second. Really a challenge, I'll tell you. But I promised my wife and all the other people I've worked with over time that that's probably the last time I'm going to act in any capacity in my next movie. I think the next movie I'll just do a cameo appearance of some type, like Alfred Hitchcock in all his movies, or has done it, and just make sure I concentrate fully on the direction.
Right.
That is so demanding. Just being a good director takes a lot. I have a lot of respect now for directing people out there. They're phenomenal. They can do what they do, and they can do it so easily and so calmly. Because half the time things are going wrong all over the place, and you got to be able to piece it all together and calm everyone else down and figure out how you're going to solve the problem. And you're doing it in real time. There's no time to sit down and contemplate it. You just have to do it, and it's very demanding. So, but I enjoy it.
So as a director, how has it been? What has been your biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it?
Oh, okay. Probably the biggest challenge was with equipment of all things.
Okay.
and get things, the equipment just right, so you can, get the most out of the camera shots. Okay, and I think just sometimes the actors would have a tendency that they would want to do things like talk during a shot. Exactly. And they're not supposed to do that. So I would have to yell out on the set, quiet on the set, please.
Yes.
Quiet on the set. With the
Quiet on
bullhorn. With the bullhorn.
Yeah,
Quiet on the set.
yeah. I
Quiet on the
project.
set.
Yeah. And other than that, I mean, it was pretty smooth. Everything I laid out when I sat down and I planned this all out very carefully. We shot it over 6.5 days, which is really impressive for a 123-minute movie. And because I was able to lay it out very carefully, all the actors we have on board were extremely good. They were just really professional. They studied and they knew their lines exceedingly well, better than I did. I flubbed my lines more often than not because I was too busy trying to do too many things. But they were all just incredible, just absolutely incredible. Quick studies. They were able to change on the dime if I had to change some of the dialogue. And they did some improv for me because I asked them to. And some of those improv stuff that they had done was just absolutely extraordinary. And I kept all of the improv stuff they had done, basically. I think I've kept it all. I don't think there was anything I cut out that they added in that it just added to, a better movie. And that's all that really counts is, is it going to be a good movie or not? The only way to make it is to let people be themselves.
Yes.
So,
I like that you say that because I've only done like 2 movies, but the director was so cool to work with because he said, you can prov here too. He let me prov on a thing. He just said, this is what you. I read the script, but he said make it your own, and it doesn't have to say exactly what I wrote, but it has to have something familiar to it. I said okay, and I did it, and sometimes you're right. Sometimes when people prov, it's kind of actually better than what the director wrote at times because it's more real. It's them being them, and they're bringing it out the way they know how to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the way it should work. And most of the really good movies that I've been on as an actor, and I've watched the director, carefully. That's how I learned a lot of what the technique I use is by watching directors. And I would watch them and I would see what kind of effect they had on the actors. And a lot of times they would do just that. They would just say, oh, wow, that was really better. You improvise that. It's not the exact lines or even close to it in some instances, but I really like what you've done. God, we're going to keep that. And then when I see the final product, they did. So that's how I learned that that's probably the best way to come up with really good movies.
Right.
And I have ambitions to have, a sequel to this. I shouldn't be announcing that, but I am next show. It's being revealed. We're going to be doing a sequel to this as soon as we possibly can.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of other movies that are in the works that as soon as I'm done with this one, they'll be, hopefully, I will be able to find the support necessary out there to conclude them, to make them happen.
Right. So if say, as a director, of course, because, I got to specify if you're an actor, as a director, if an actor is being unprofessional, how do you manage a situation like that?
Relatively speaking, it doesn't happen too often, except that all you can do is take them aside for a second. You don't do this in front of everybody. You just do this individually, very quietly, and just say something to the effect that that's not what I really want. Let's see if we can get back into a different stratagem here. Let's see if we can find a better way of doing this and see if we can satisfy everybody to make this happen and make it work. And that usually works. 99% of the time, it works.
Right. You have SAG actors?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. It's interesting. I try and use SAG actors whenever I can. In some instances, I've had people who were not, they were essentially newbies. but they were so good at what they did. Uh, they hadn't been through any training yet, so they were just themselves, and I wanted them to come in as themselves, and they were just extraordinary, And then they went on to become actors in their own right later on. Um,
Right.
but it's really cool because I've given them an opportunity, and at the same time, they were able to come through for me in a magnificent way. Both win. We both win.
Mm. Yes. Being a director, what do you look for when you bring, or when you're looking for, or when you're casting for a movie? What type of individuals are you looking for, or does it depend on the movie that you're
Oh,
trying to write?
yeah, it depends on what I've written. Like I played a pretty evil guy, in this movie,
Right.
and uh, the Donna Lee Heisling, um, she does a wonderful job. She was absolutely wonderful for it. She comes off as very innocent, um, loving individual who's been abused. Okay, and she's coping with it. She's trying to figure out how on earth can she get away from this evil husband that she's got. Okay, and at the same time find her own paradise, her own life, her own way of living. And because she is a very innocent individual, uh, Donna does a wonderful job of portraying that. But she can be pushed to a certain level, and then she reacts. Then she doesn't accept it anymore, and then that she's got power in herself.
Mm,
She's willing
Right.
to defend herself,
I like.
and and she pulls it off beautifully. Uh, a lot of people, there's a lot of actors that I was looking at for this, and I did notice that they all had on the rough edge actually made it harder to believe, because they rough edge. It's sort of like, well, okay, why didn't they leave the husband long before this? Oh, and she just portrays it very well that she had enough. She was very loving and giving and trying to do her best, to keep a happy house, and she just wasn't able to do it. So that's why she left. And I think that's brilliantly done. The acting, I was so impressed with all. Mel Novak, he plays uh, the motel manager, and he's funny as hell, he's extraordinary. Really like really did it. So yeah, and shout out to Linnell Gibson. She is one of the supporting actors as Little Princess. She's one of the supporting actors, and as well as producer. I'm sorry, associate producer. And she did an excellent job of getting the music for some of this. We have 5 pieces of music that are original, um, that have not been aired before. So we're going to be airing them for the first time, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, it's been quite an adventure, and it's been quite fun.
Um, I just got a question because we were just talking about this. I have a friend of mine, great guy. He's a film composer.
Ah, okay.
Would 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 that be something that you might be interested in talking to him about? I mean,
Of course.
he makes he makes the music for the film, and I've heard great things about him. How he's just so amazing at what he does, and
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah,
yeah,
because in this business, we're always looking for talent. We're always looking for people that uh, can give us something that we need for a particular film, or anything that we're doing involving the industry. And it's good to have contacts on people that can do almost everything or anything, because you just never know, what kind of capability you're going to need. And to fully answer your question about how to choose the right actors and so forth. I've been very lucky that way. I've been able to keep a good database of people who my friends or people I've met on set were in the industry in some of these mixers and so forth, where I've been able to keep the information. And then later, when I put this movie together, I drew on all of the people I had met over years, and I knew how capable they were. And I asked them, "Can you please, would you be interested in this movie?" And not one turned me down. I mean, they all basically said the same thing, that, "Wow, yeah, this will be a great. I love the script. I want to be involved," and they have, and they've all come through. So I can honestly say that because a lot of movies have difficulties with a personnel where people just don't come through. They flake out and all that. These people did not. They just extraordinary. I'm really impressed with the crew we had as well. They were extremely professional, and that was again based on friendships. People I'd known who referred me to someone else that said this guy was really good or this gal was really good, uh, and they turned out to be extraordinary. So
That's amazing.
very lucky
I'm
that way.
gonna I'm gonna have I just can't remember his name off, but he was just on my show a couple of days ago. The film composer. I'm gonna have him reach out to you, and I'm gonna let him tell you that I sent him, so that way you know who he is and if it's from me. Because I don't like to send people to nobody unless I recommend them, so that way you know exactly who they are and who they sent from. But
Thank you. I appreciate that. That is
yeah,
really
yeah,
that's cool of
definitely.
you.
Anything I can do to help, you know, um, bring your films to the next level, then I'm all in to help you, because
Oh,
that's what the
great.
show is all about. This show is about bringing people to the platform, giving them a voice, and to be able to talk about their craft or whatever it is that they got going on. Because sometimes, like example, if I would have looked at this movie and watched it, I would have said, "Wow, who was the director of this movie?" Or, who put this together. I
Right.
wouldn't know who you are, but now bringing you on the show, whoever watches this movie, or is interesting, can put a face behind the movie now. They
Right.
know who the director was. They know who the actor is.
Mhm.
And so I think that's very important to expose people when they're doing amazing things like what you're doing. Um,
Thanks. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on your show and,
yes,
and voicing this because this is really fantastic. It's really wonderful that you're doing that for people,
right.
and for yourself in this case. And I do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, without a doubt. And and like my friend here, the film composer, he's a real laid back guy. You can tell he really don't talk much, but he's a young fella, and he's willing to work, which is the great thing. So I said
No,
to
that's
him,
great.
I'm gonna try to link you up with some people, directors that might need your help. That might need you for a project. So
Right.
what I do is I connect people on our show. I try to connect the right people that I think that first can get along, right? Can
Right.
get along and are on the same page, and are in the same circle, doing the same thing, you know, so that maybe things can work out and help you out a little bit, and help him
Great.
out a little bit. So
That
I'm
sounds
gonna,
wonderful.
yeah, so I'm gonna reach out to him, and I'm gonna have him reach out to you, and then you guys can talk and figure out whatever you guys want to do, or that's up to you guys. I'll make the connections. You guys do what you do best.
Okay. Fantastic. I
Yes.
really appreciate you both having me on the show, and like I said, and the chance to interact with them because I think that could really be a good thing. Really be a
Yes,
good.
it definitely. I know you just came on the show, but I don't know if you watched it in the past. I've had so many actors and directors coming on my show from all over the world, and they're amazing. And the reason why I like directors is because I'm like a director, right? I look at the big picture. I'm a dreamer, right?
Right.
So and I visualize things, and that directors the same way.
Right.
That's how they come up with these great stories and great films, because they creators. I'm a creator in my mind. I create things. So
Okay. Yes.
when I see a director, I put myself in their shoes. I'll be like, wow. they're just like me. They're creators, even though I'm not a director. But I think I have the potential to be a director because I think like a director. So
Okay. That's half the battle right there. Because you think like a director, you have the opportunity to go out there and do your own thing. You can direct your own shows like you're doing now. You're directing
right,
your show. I mean,
correct.
you're giving me direction as to what you need to know from me in order to make your show, and that's really how it should work. Uh, and I think that you can probably take classes, or you know just grab a camera if you have a good camera and
Yes.
Right,
start
right.
Yeah.
videotaping stuff.
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, I do got good camera. I got 4K cameras here in the studio.
Oh, you do?
But
Okay.
but besides that, I'm working on a movie right now with a couple of friends of mine. We're working on a paranormal movie, and my good friend Steve Alexander, been in the industry for a long time, just sent us the script. I've been reading it. Great story. So I reached out to a friend. Well, actually, she called me. Her name is Jennifer Dawn. She's in the industry as well, and she's going to help me bring my vision to life.
Nice. All
Right.
right.
So
Excellent.
it's right. So what I'm trying to go with this is that meeting people like you, like Jennifer, like Mr. Steve, like this gentleman here, this film composer. I build a team, right? I build a team together to make my vision, what I got in my head, come out and make it happen. So I look at it like wherever I have my resources, I use them and say, hey, I got this project. What can we do to make this project happen? So I have the writer, I have the director, the co-producer, I have the actors, you know. So I have everything I need in my hands. Now all I need to do is put it in play. Let's put
Yes.
this to play. So the biggest issue, and we talked about this, is investors, right?
Right. Right.
So I've just been fortunate to have a good friend that know investors that is going to help me get my project up and going with the people that she knows. Um,
Excellent.
right.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
I,
wish you great success with that. I mean, I think that it's going to work out really well. It's just a matter of the same old line. Just do it. You just got to get out there and get it
do
done.
it.
Get it done.
Right.
Get it
And,
done.
I'm glad you said that because I spoke to one of my partners today, and that's exactly what I said. I said, we have these resources, right? But what good are they if we don't step up our game? Meaning, we need to go out there and do it.
Right.
We got to do it. We got to take the chance and do it because we can talk about it all day, right? And
Right.
we can have all the resources to make something happen. But if we don't take that first step to actually start to get it rolling, then all we're going to be doing is talking and going back and forth about how we want to do this and how we want to do that. And nothing's getting done because nobody's taking that first step.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm that guy. I'm the guy to take 10 steps because I like to see what I have in my head come to life.
Nice. And you
And
make it. It'll make it. I can hardly wait. Keep me informed. I definitely would like to hear, your progress on that because that's so cool.
yeah,
That is so cool.
it is. And this will be my first film.
All
Um,
right.
not just me, I'm my whole team because it's everybody. I don't take credit for things that everyone's doing. We all doing it together. So all I did was connect the people together, like I'm trying to do it with the composer and you. I
Right.
put two people together. I put Steve and Mr. Mark Lee from the paranormal investigation team because he had a story that I found interesting. So I connected those two together. They did whatever they talked about. Week later, I get a phone call saying, "Hey, we got this idea, and we want you to be a part of it." And
Very
that's
cool.
so that's how I got involved with this film. But what I'm saying is that you know this platform can create beautiful things for people.
Yes.
And you can um get to know other people that are doing things that might you might be lacking. You might need a film composer. You might need another co-producer. You might need, I don't know, whatever it is. But you connected to me. I have plenty of people that came on my studio, been live that I can help you. You know what I mean? And that's what
And
this
I
is
appreciate
about.
it. Yeah, thank you.
You know,
I appreciate that resource that you are a
yes,
resource. That's great.
right. So whatever you need, whatever resources you need that you think you might need, you can give me a call. And if I know someone that can help you, I'll connect you to them because I want everybody to win, right? That's my philosophy. I want everybody. I don't care who you are, where you're from. I don't care if I met you yesterday. If I can help you, that's what I'm going to do because I want to see you win. I want to see you grow. And
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That is
yeah,
excellent. I'm glad
right.
you have that philosophy. You know, it's refreshing. It's and it's
Are
just
you a
the other way
philosopher?
around.
Hey,
You know.
hey,
I
I'm a
just,
dancer too, you know. Innocent.
I just have to say because I have to joke around sometimes. Like you
Oh,
have
of
to
course.
remind the director. As long as on here, you don't say quiet on the set. You don't start saying it here all of a sudden be like quiet on the set. I don't know. I have to respect it, or
Oh, you gotta go. No, I'm only kidding.
yeah.
No, so I know you said Donna. Is it Donna Lee the one that is in your movie? Is it Donna
Yes.
Lee? She's
Yeah.
an amazing woman. She reached out to me and she's coming on the show as well on
Uh-huh.
February. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but she's amazing. She's a martial art artist as well.
That's
Um,
right.
she could have fooled me, you know, with her doll face and her nice dress. You would never think she's dangerous like
That's
that.
right. Exactly. You know, she pulls it off so well. I mean, she
Yes,
really is. And she does that in her personal life as well as her professional life. She's just an extraordinary lady. I
yes,
really have a lot of respect for her, and I enjoyed working with her. It was really a lot of fun.
right. So, are you out of where you out of? What state?
Oh, California.
Oh,
It's
California.
Los Angeles.
California knows
Yeah.
how to party.
City of Cali, California. Yep, I've been out to Cali twice. Um, I went there for a movie premiere with Bella Levy, a friend of mine. She had some friends out there that were doing an event, and I went there. And by the grace of God, I've met some amazing people. I met Johnny Alonso, which just finished shooting the movie Harvey. Great movie. Um, and I've met Doug Jones, which played in the movie Star Trek. Um, I met Kathleen. I met so many amazing Hollywood actors that day. It was. I met Tyrone Tan, which is a talk show host, big talk show host out there in Los Angeles. Mike Wagner. I don't know if you ever heard of Mike Wagner. He has a talk show as well that I can also um, plug you in with Mr. Wagner, and he can interview as well. Shauna Gibson, which is Tyrese Gibson's sister, the actor Tyrese Gibson that played in Fast and the Furious.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
she has a talk show. She go by Queen G. Um, my other friend JoJo from the JoJo Show. So I got these platforms that I can recommend you to, and you can also
Fantastic.
you can appear on the show. And the reason why I say this is because I want you to promote yourself in every platform that you can. Promote
Thanks.
your music, promote what you're doing, so people know who Mr. Walter, is and what you do for work. And whenever you put up a film, you never know who. Like, yeah, I know the guy. I seen him on such and such show. So
Mm.
I can do that. I can send you
Fantastic.
to some other platforms where you can come alive and tell your story and talk about your films and your future projects. And
Thank you. Thank you so much.
yeah, so if that's something that you're interested in, I can after the show I can text you some people and I'll let them know that you're coming, that you're going to reach out to them, and they can set you up for a interview on their show.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much interested in it. Thank you.
Okay, yes, I could definitely do that for you. And so, what else? If you wasn't into acting or directing, what else would you see yourself doing?
Let's see. I see myself sitting on a beach with a drink in hand and a hammock.
Well,
Good
yeah,
man, good man.
okay, okay. What other things do you love to do for hobby? What do you do for hobbies?
For hobbies, it's really interesting. I don't have any hobbies at this point other than watching great movies, in the theater. Well, not so much with COVID-19 going on, but going to a lot of theater, going to watching TV, a lot of the major shows, you know, uh, just get an idea of what I'm going to vote for, for the SAG nominations and all that, that kind of thing. I guess I spend a lot of time involved in the industry in that sense.
Okay, it's funny you say that. Jennifer Dawn, which the woman I was just talking to you about, that's a director.
Right.
She's from Oregon, and she's also nominating some people on some of her films. And she called me last night, and I was so honored. She asked me if I can do it on my show live, nominate her nominees on my show.
Nice.
Yes, I was honored. And she also wanted to bring Mrs. Karen Coben Al Pacino, which is Al Pacino's stepmom, to kind of host the event with me here live, like we're doing now. And so
Great.
I find it very, very, interesting that she called me. She could have called anybody, right?
Right.
But she thought of me, and she said that she wanted her on my show. So that's something that we're planning on doing as well. Bring her um, her movie festival live on my show to nominate some of her actors and give them trophies and awards.
Great.
Yes, so that's something that if you ever in the future decide you want to do and you need some help with it, we'll be glad to help you with that as well. Because you know,
Okay.
seeing the way things are going now with COVID, a lot of things might shut down. So the only platform we're going to have is virtual
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah.
So we need to learn how to work with it and connect with the right people so that when you do create your project and you can't go out on the street and promote it for whatever reason because of the shutdown, you have these
Right.
platforms where you can say, well, I can reach to the Don Vic show, I can reach to the JoJo show, I can reach out to Mr. Mac Wagner, I can reach out to Shauna Gibson and push out my movie,
Right.
do my excuse me, do my festival on the show live and pass out these awards and trophies
It's a
and
good idea.
right, and then have them come on a show, right? Say you have 5 award winners that you want to give out awards to. You say, hey Victor, blah blah blah. This is what I want to do. We'll put it together. We'll do the announcement first. We'll set out the awards who are being the nominators for the film, and then we get a bio. You send me a bio of each character, each guest, or each winner. I go
Okay.
through it, and then we'll bring them on the live show and interview them. You know, one
Very
by
nice.
one, or have them all on the same time because I can do that. I can have up to 10 people on my screen at the same time, but I don't know if that'll be a good thing because everybody will be everywhere. So I either bring two at a time or one at a time, give them an interview, talk about the film that they're being nominated for, and then we take it from there.
All right. It sounds cool. I
Right?
like that idea. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
is
Take
there
you up on it.
anything else that you would like the viewers to know about you?
No, other than to believe in yourself and just keep going, going full steam ahead. Don't let anyone stop you in the sense that there's critics out there. No matter what you do, there's always going to be people that are not going to like what you've done, or they're going to critique you one way or the other. But there's a lot of people out there that'll support you and say, "Hey, go for it. You know, whatever's in your mind can be created,
That's
and
right.
whatever can be created can be enjoyed by somebody. You know, it may not be a wide audience that you are appealing to, but there is always an audience.
Right.
So don't give up.
Right. Don't ever give up. Have you ever got uh, a part where it was or a movie? Have you ever been to a movie where you wanted to play a character and you didn't get the part?
Oh yes, yeah, many parts. Uh,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Someone extremely juicy, and you just say, "Oh my God, that'd be so cool if I could have this part." And then you know, I don't get it for whatever reason. Even after the second round of auditions on it, you know, you just, you know, all you can do is just say, okay, that was then, this is now, move on. You
That's
know,
right.
forget about it. Don't worry about it. You know, that's the way it works. Uh, you can't take rejection seriously in this industry because if you do, you're dead. You know, you just have to just keep believing in yourself, moving on, keep focusing on what you can do, and do it well.
Okay. And what advice would you give someone that wants to come into the industry, in the filming industry? What advice would you give them, or what can you tell them to look out for?
Ah, okay. I would say look out for those negative people. Stay away from them. You know, if you're hearing, you know, a lot of negativity coming out of them, just try and avoid them the best you can. Get involved in things that are going to be a benefit to you. In other words, you know, somebody just starting out in the industry. I had a friend just ask me that the other day, and I was telling her that what she should do is she should go work at go to Central Casting, sign up with them, get involved in the industry that way, start learning the process, learning what you need to do on camera, and learning the 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 uh, uh, the words, learning the actions that take place within a set. You'll learn quite a bit that way. And then watch the people that are working there. You know, watch the ADs, watch the director, watch the actors, get an idea of what they're doing and why they're doing it. And once you start becoming curious for things like that, you start to absorb it. It just happens naturally
Right.
because that's business. And that's how you can get started with it, and that's how you can stay involved in it. And then whenever you have a chance, you know, take those classes, uh, do those seminars. You know, go to those things that are going to expand your abilities. Read the books. You know, there are many books written out there for actors, and some of them are not so good, but most of them usually have a kernel of truth in it. That if you can pick up and absorb just a couple of items out of that book, it will be you will have an extraordinary change, you know, in your abilities. It's just amazing.
Wow.
I've been amazed that way.
That's amazing because one of our guests, he was also an actor and a director from yesterday. Also, let us know he was like, you know, when you're acting, you pay attention to what the director's doing, how's he saying things, and how it, you know, how it works. And then, you know, when you feel it's your time and you're ready, that's when you okay, I'm ready now to start directing.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know, and they play off each other. That's how the synergism works. You know, and that's when you get a better product. That's when you get really great actors giving their best. And that's why, you know, we talk about directors, really great directors, and you can name, you know, dozens of really great directors that have created great movies. Well, there's a reason why they're in that category. It's because they really have put the effort forth to work with the great actors, and the actors have been willing to work with them on that level. So it's extraordinary. It's one of those synergistic type of arrangements that has to take place if you really want to have, you know, great movies, great television shows too. So it's not just exclusive to that. So it basically over the entire spectrum, you know, of entertainment. So
Have you ever gotten, since you've been filming and directing, have you ever um, uh, acted or did any films with any high top rank actors?
uh, I have had the opportunity several times that I was going to work with an A-list actor, And unfortunately, each time something popped up, like
I
that
hate
prevented
that.
it from happening. And that just is the way the industry is.
Yeah, yeah. That's why sometimes when they say, don't look forward to certain things, because when you say, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to act with this person, and it's going to bring you down, like, oh my God.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen. So,
Right.
so it's all you can do is just keep the flow going, keep going, don't give up, keep striving to be better at what you do, and those opportunities will come. They just will come.
Yeah,
You
you just
just
got
have
to be
to.
patient. Just got to be patient and work.
That's it. Yeah.
Patient, and that's what I've learned, Mr. Walter, to be patient. What's for you is gonna come. See, God don't make mistakes, right? God, He don't make mistakes. Anything that happens in your life is for a reason. Either you're gonna learn from it, or you're gonna keep making the
Right.
same mistake till you learn from it. Right?
Correct.
That's just the way life is. Life is just uh, um,
Right.
uh, something that you do, that you go through in life, and either you're gonna become a man or you're gonna be stuck in that circle. So
That's
you know,
true. Yeah.
so you know, this is why we just need to keep moving forward and keep doing what we're doing. But is there, if anyone wants to reach out or look at any of your movies, where can they go and find it? Is there a link that they can go to
Uh,
watch some of your movies or something
watch
that you've
the
done in the
movie.
past?
Hmm. Okay. I had a website at one point in time, and my company name is called Spheroid Films and Spheroid Productions.
Mhm.
And my website is Spheroid Films, uh, and you could get on that, but I haven't updated it because I've been so
Busy.
preoccupied.
Right.
So, that's a mistake I made, by the way. And I would encourage anyone who stays in the industry that they get on social media and do a better job than I did.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it's not that you need but it's just you're busy, so you haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just say you haven't got to it yet.
Yes. Whenever you
Just,
get it,
yeah, I'll get it.
whenever you get situated and stuff, inbox either one of us, and that way
Okay.
we'll be able to put the information out about where they could look for your movies and everything. So right now, everything's a process. We appreciate you being here, giving us your time.
Mhm.
So that way, like you said, we're putting a face to a name of something that we want to watch, but we want to make sure it's you.
Right.
We want us
I
to make sure
appreciate
the right Walter making his damn movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you both doing that. That's really cool stuff. And I'll get that to you. I will get that information over to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And that helps me a lot. And I do appreciate that so much.
Right. So that goes back to having a team, right? So little stuff like that you can't do. It's always good to have people on your team that can do certain things for you. Little things like that. You don't have
Right.
time. I said, listen, I need this put on the website. I need a website done. Can you take care of that while I stay focused on directing and acting, doing my thing, but I need this done. And because that's part of your package that you're
That's right.
that's part of your package that you're creating. You need a website. People want to see your movie. Where can I go see a Walton on a Hutch brought in a movie?
Right. Oh yeah,
Website,
absolutely right.
you know. So that's something that you can think about. You can have anybody can do that. Your kids and someone that's not really busy but's good with computers and putting stuff up can do that job for you. Um,
Right. Oh yeah.
is there anyone you want to shout out? Any shout outs to anyone?
I think, well, I wanted to mention my director of photography. Her name is Jessica Gallant, and she's just extraordinary. I was, I know I keep saying that extraordinary for everyone I've worked with, but
No,
I,
I've never heard that word more
in this,
one day, but
yeah, when she was, I mean, she could read my mind. It was really incredible because I would go ahead and I would start a scene and I would give some of the instructions to the actors, and she would basically either jump in before me or jump in, after me and saying, okay, this is what we'd like to see more of and that kind of thing. And it was going, wow, that's what I was just thinking. How does she know what it was in my head? It was really weird because it happened so frequently. And she was so on the money with everything. She was so fast like I said, we had a very grueling, 6.5 days worth of shooting, for the 123 minutes. And as a result, we had to really be on top of it. We didn't have time to do more than 2 or 3 takes, for
Right.
each scene,
Right.
in each position, each POV. So it's sort of like, oh man, uh, she was able to do that. She was able to put that all together and get her crew, to work it correctly and work it well. Just that's why I wanted to shout out to her, because she was great. She was
Shout
absolutely
out to Jessica.
Shout out to Jessica. And those are people that you need on your team. People that can see your dream, see your vision,
yes,
and think like you, because that's where all the all the I'll say miracles and great projects come from. For
exactly.
two people that think alike. So yeah, big shout out to Jessica. Big shout out to you and your whole cast and your crew and your wife and everybody
Thank
else
you.
over on your side in LA. Um, I definitely will bring you back on the show in the future time to see where you at, see what else you're
Excellent.
working on. Definitely going to check out um the motel. What is it? That
Uh,
movie,
the Paradise Motel.
Paradise Motel.
I'll send you. I'll send you the link. In fact, I'll do better than that. I'll send you a copy of it. I'll
Okay,
send you a
that's awesome.
streamer.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah, and
yeah.
remember, if I can help you in anything you think you need help or you're lacking on something, you can always text me. Say, hey, Vic, I'm having this little issue. You think you can help me, or you can,
Okay.
know anyone that can help me out? And 90% of the time, I might be able to help you out because, like I said, I know a lot of people, and
Okay. I'll
and
take you
any,
up on it. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
and anyone that I send to you or send your way, it's 100%. I'm not going to send anybody to you that's going to give you a hard time or any
Okay.
headache. Everybody that I deal with, it's official. They're great people, they honest, and they're about their business. So, you know,
Excellent. Excellent.
but definitely I'm gonna send over the film composer. I just can't remember his name right off my head, but I'm definitely gonna reach out to him. I'm gonna have him reach out to you. I think you went with I connected him with another guy, Brent Gaskin, which is another he's a SAGA actor from North Carolina. So
Mm,
I'm gonna
okay.
connect him to you too because you guys are in the same circle.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to work out really well. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving me your time.
Thank you,
For coming
Walter.
on the show. Big shout out to Donna Lee. She'll be on the show as well in February. So people tune in. Thank you so much, Mr. Walter, for coming on the show.
Oh, my
Appreciate you
pleasure.
so much.
My
And
pleasure. Thank you for
I,
having me.
I wish you
Really
the best. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
thank you. You,
Thank
you take care. Take care now.
All
Okay.
right. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Woo, that went smooth.
Yes,
Like that,
I
Mr.
love
Walter.
it. I-
Kept
yeah.
it simple, the basic.
And direct.
So
So
we kept it direct from a director.
yeah, we
Man.
get it direct from the director. That's
Oh,
right.
man, I'm telling you,
This is
see,
so dope. So people, this is what we talking about. Promoting and bringing people out to the show so people can know what they're doing and what they're all about, and help them get out there because there's a lot of people out here doing amazing things and great things that no one know who they are, and we want to give them our platform to be able to expose themselves and what they're doing. Yes, what it could be, what it should be, what it is.
anyway,
Exactly.
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Shout out to SAG. Love
Yeah.
that support. Look at that. So amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So people tune in at 5 o'clock. I have Mr. Melodic, artist Mr. Melodic, and Mr. Lazy Eye coming straight to the studio live at 5 p.m. Don't miss it. It's a lot to talk about, music to talk about. So make sure y'all tune in. And big shout out to Mr. Walter Hochbrueckner for coming on the show. Big shout out to him. Make sure you guys follow him. Check out his movies coming out soon in March, February 19th. He'll be releasing either a trailer or a movie. So make sure you guys check it out and support him. And again, big shout out to everybody that's come on the show and support the show. All right. So see you guys at 5 p.m.
Leave you out. Peace, love, respect.
We out.